Really, this is me in 1996, a sprightly 22-year-old with. We're recording this. You're bloody recording it. I used to smoke quite a lot of drugs. This was a couple of friends of mine said the Hills of Baths is up for sale. Somebody should buy it and turn it into a pub. And I thought, that's a great idea. I can't remember what time of day or night it was, but I thought it was a good idea. At the time, I'd been working in hospitality for 7 years, I think, as a glass detector, and then behind the bar. I was also working at Next selling ladies' wear, which was still the best job I've ever had. I thought it was a great idea, so I rang the board on the front of the building and asked how much it was. They told me it was £120,000 for the freehold of the building. I thought, okay, how much do I have to pay as a down payment? They said 5%. I was a homeowner at the time, having not gone to university and buying a house. So I rang my credit card company and said, how much can I have on my credit card, please? And they said, you can have £6,000. So I cleared down the balance and I rang the pension fund bank that owned the building. I said, can I pay on a credit card? And they said, I'm sure we can get that sorted out for you. And about a week later, I bought the building. It took me about 10 months and another 40 grand's worth of credit card debt to get the license and the planning permission. And then in 1997, I opened the Deep End, which was a 600 capacity live music venue. And this was sort of my proper entry into being an entrepreneur, I guess. Through my 20s, I opened other venues. I opened a piano bar and a cocktail bar, and I had a record label and some tech startups around when mobile phones came out, around ringtones and graphics. Basically, I span plates quite efficiently for about 7 years until I didn't spin plates very efficiently very much longer. And when I turned 30, I basically started again. At that time, we'd just launched PowerText, which was a text messaging platform for hospitality for late night, and we worked with all the big DJs and dance brands around the country, basically doing text message marketing. I'm now sit on the board of Jolly, an opener and Candid Hospitality alongside my role as CEO at Airship. This deck, who's seen this deck before? I'm cheating a little bit today because I presented this deck at PAL a few weeks ago. But actually I thought, everything that Rose has talked about and everything that Natalie talks about, we're in this massive period of change, and really what I'm going to talk about today is that period of change. I'm actually going to come back to something though that I did at the Deep End, which underpins all of this activity that brands run. And my take is around how it's going to change, and it's changing literally by the day at the moment. I know that that's happening with Actiol, it's happening with Airship, it's happening with Stampede, it's happening with other platforms in the marketing space as well as in every other space. This guy is kind of pivotal. So Steve Jobs in 2007 rolled out the iPhone. And the iPhone put personalization in people's pockets. All of a sudden, your phone knew who you were. You didn't need to fill in a form. You didn't need to do anything else. You could just book. You could use an app. You could obtain loyalty. You could do a whole load of different things. It also meant that the camera went into people's pockets for the first time. And it put the internet in people's pockets as well. And people were swiping, and personalization just happened. And the key to this is really around the adoption, because it was extreme. And at the time the iPhone came out, we were sending 1 million text messages a month. And in the back of the swimming pool, we had a server center, and we had these bloody computers. And in the computers, we had these massive SIM chips plugged in, which were actually mobile phone SIM chips that used to be about this big. And whenever we sold to the Ministry of Sound or Gatecrash or any of the brands, we'd have to buy a SIM chip, plug it into a computer and send text messages through it. It was all a little bit nuts. But the adoption of the iPhone was really, really extreme. And because it put the internet in people's pockets and it offered this massive amount of personalization to users. And it was a fundamental shift in technology. And this is what we're going to see with AI and what we're seeing already. And it's moved from cats playing guitars to sort of an embedded phase now, where it's inside every product. It's inside every platform that we're using, and now we're moving to this next phase where it will work with every procedure, and that we're seeing that through agentic AI. Personalisation really is going to go into overdrive again. And the personalisation that Rose talked about there, around, I think it was 37% we said of consumers would say if they had a better personalised digital experience with a brand, they'd feel more connected. It couldn't be more true. It's not all about AI though, it's all about data. And without the data, basically, AI is nothing. All of these things here, from pay at table, anti-clockwise round to rooms, these are transactional data sources that Airship collects from its 100 different platforms that it integrates with. So every time a customer interacts with a brand, whether it's through Wi-Fi or feedback, through 125 or through HGen, whether it's through wireless social or Fidelia or Captive, whether it's through Collins or Seven Rooms or OpenTable, we use the mobile number or the email address to identify a customer, and then we scrunch all of the data to build out a customer profile. And what that does is it gives us what we call POPs, a proof of presence, so we know about recency and frequency of venue visit, and then what we can do is trigger off the back of that. And what I'm going to do is give you 3 examples verbally of 3 different brands that you can sign up with where you can see this in action. And what we don't have currently is opening hours, occupancy, levels, menu, product and pricing, consumer notes, events and user-generated content. It was really interesting again around the opening hours when Natalie talked about that, and consumers want to know that. And actually that exists in many platforms as far as a source of truth. And I think that is a level of personalisation as well. So this is what we're introducing at the moment, all of these things, menu, product and pricing, into the mix of CRM, so that we can then go back out and personalise experiences to people. This is what we get from it. So you get a ton of profile information, tons and tons and tons of profile information into your single customer view. You understand the customer lifetime value, you understand a whole load of different things. And that's the same on Axiol, it's the same on Stampede, the same on Airship. Loyalty though is going to be really, really fine. This isn't about an app, it's not about points. It's about it living across all of these different touch points that you have with your consumers. And it's about making sure that every return visit that a customer has feels natural and not incentivized. And personalization really is everything. And if you think about the inbox and how we battle against Netflix and Amazon and all of these other brands that are already doing highly personalized, highly targeted marketing to us, that's where we're going to get to. We're going to get there within, I'm going to say, 6 months. The guest journey wise of things, so just a bit about discovery. So SEO really becomes AIO, bit of a buzzword that, it's a bit of a buzzword, but really it's about your websites and all of your different channels and everything else being easier for AI to read and easier for AI to understand. So because actually the AI and AI search is where people are going to go first. I live on ChatGPT now. I literally live on ChatGPT. I've got this bloody Remarkable, and I'm still scribbling away from it, and I've only been on it for 3 months because I've been scribbling in notepads for 30 years and finally thought, no, I need to come off a notepad and paper and pen, go onto Remarkable, type, it goes into my notebook LLM, it automatically converts it to text, that goes into a little bloody, I don't know, little server that somebody set me up, and that feeds like an encyclopedic knowledge of all of the shit that I get up to every week to remind me what I should be doing with my time. So SEO becomes AIO, and all of your websites basically become encyclopedic knowledge about your brands. And then the LLMs through Gemini and all the rest of them will automatically see that and have it as a trusted source. And we're also going to have visual search, and this is really bringing in the UGC stuff. So it means that your pictures and your photos and everything else that you have within your brands really need to shine through on your websites as well. So your photography that you do of your different dishes, when then somebody else takes a photo as well, the AI will automatically then recognize that and point people in the right direction for where they can go and enjoy it. Voice search becomes voice booking, and I've already used this quite a lot, so you can just ask to book a table somewhere through ChatGPT or Gemini, and it will find that table for you. It can't quite book it yet, but we're not a million miles away from that happening as well. As a quick example of that, see that? Quick example of that. This is can you book me a table for a steak restaurant in Sheffield for tomorrow night at 8 p.m. for 2 people. This is all of the results that came back. These are Miller and Carter at the top. The trust source of Miller and Carter was TripAdvisor and The Fork. So that's where it got its trust from. The others here, Chef Sammy and Seven Grills and Lavaca, they were from their websites, and that was the trust source from the websites. It then showed me a map. It then actually extracted the booking details and gave me my own information back to me and said, this is where you can, how you can book this. I think that consumers won't, we're all getting much lazier. There's no two ways about it. Convenience is everything, and if we've got personalisation and convenience, and as we're using ChatGPT and Gemini and Copilot and Claude and all of these different AIs, all that it's doing is learning from us all of the time. It's learning, and we're just going to trust more. And actually, where it's a low ticket item, we really won't think about it. We'll just trust it, and it'll do it, and we'll book. We'll take an action from it. Only higher ticket experiences will warrant a bit of time. Some winning things that are going to happen. So the CRM links, phone hosts, there's people like Hayguest, AdSalt are storming at the moment, and actually linking that through to your CRM for personalisation means that when I ring up and there was a stat around however many missed calls there has been, and the stat around social missed opportunities as well. So when the phone rings and it rings 3 times and nobody answers it, it's a lost booking. When the phone rings 3 times and an AI host answers it, and the AI host knows that it's me because it's my phone number that's rang up, and it can offer me a more personalised experience, that's where operators are going to win. And that's what we're going to see emerge over the next few months. The same thing with the chat assistant, and this could extend into your social channels as well. It's really about capturing the guest in the first place, and then understanding the guest in the second place. That understanding of the guest comes from the CRM. It comes from the data that you already have in your businesses connected to the customers. And then obviously you've got messaging as well, whether it's through WhatsApp or rich RCS, rich communication service messaging as well. So again, customers now just have threads. We all have threads. We work on threads, whether they're chat threads in Teams or in Gmail or in Instagram or in WhatsApp. Everything works off a thread. And really what we see there is where ops meets marketing, and where we have this experience with the CRM that extends front of house. Humans obviously have to still deliver the fabulous. None of this works, none of this repeat business works with customers without the ops team delivering on the ground, each and every time. So that personalisation needs to extend the house. I think a little bit around pre-visit orchestration here, and we don't do enough of this really. We remind customers that, do you want that booking? You get a text message, are you sure you want that booking? You get an email, are you coming tomorrow? Do you want that booking? But we don't actually say, here's a menu for you to take a look at ahead of your booking tomorrow, or if you've got any particular preferences, why don't you let us know what they are? We obviously know what those customers might have as far as allergens are concerned. We might know that the last time they visited, they were a detractor and they answered 0 to 6 on NPS. We might know why they were a detractor as well, but we're not doing much around that. We're also not doing much around pre-orders as well. A pre-order of as an upsell ahead of a booking, especially if we know if it's a birthday or a date or something like that, we could always put a bottle of Prosecco on the table or make sure that they were pre-buying a cake. So making sure that we're using pre-visit orchestration as well. Comms personalization around menu optimization, I mean, this is going to be a really big thing. So making sure we know the products that people are buying when they visit, the personalization back into birthday marketing, into anniversary marketing, into if you're giving away a toggle voucher or a gift card, why don't you put a picture of what the customer ate last time on their visit within that email? So personalization using imagery within outbound email comms as well. And then in visit, the front of house intelligence. Again, we do this really well with Zonal, where a customer walks in, the person at the front of house can see whether they're a loyalty customer, so they can see it on the dashboard whether that customer's a loyalty customer. If they're not a loyalty customer, then you could prompt them and say, oh, why don't you become a loyalty customer? I use Strava because I like to cycle, and I obviously gamify my exercise, because why wouldn't you? And they have a Strava athlete intelligence, it's called. And basically it tells me at the end of the ride whether I've gone slower or faster than the previous ride, and whether my momentum's good or all that rubbish. But doing this with a guest, and actually having a guest summary within the front of house, where you're not giving away any personal identifiable information, you're not giving away a mobile number or an email address or anything like that, but actually giving that front of house team those small little prompts that will make that guest experience so much better, is again coming very soon. The value exchange. Okay, this underpins the whole of CRM. Pre-GDPR, hospitality was great at collecting data and having a reason to collect data. Everybody was tasked with it. It was filling out postcards, it was fish bowls on bars with business cards in, it was competitions, it was the varsity card. Revolution had their card that they sold. It was all about data collection. Post GDPR, that completely fell away, and actually what it was replaced with was digital. And all of a sudden table booking became the norm, Wi-Fi was widespread, and then all of these different digital touch points started to emerge in hospitality, and actually everybody became really lazy about what to do with the data. And this is really about the value exchange. And it comes back to something else that somebody said, and I think it was Natalie again, 22% of customers won't give data if they don't feel like getting value. And the value exchange really underpins it. So it's about all of this data here, from pay at table all the way around to rooms, is passive. The customer isn't signing up with you. They didn't come to your website to sign up with you. There's just a tiny little tick box on a form that generally you can't edit that suggests you sign up to a newsletter. A bloody newsletter. People have been signing up to newsletters since the internet started. It's the dullest thing in the world. I mean, who wants it and who sends them? So actually, taking all of that passive data, that's all passive. The actual only active data you have is the web sign up. That's, it's loyalty, it's rewards, it's a purpose to sign up online. The three brands that you could sign up to test this out is Bills. They have the BIP, Casa Oaxaca, and Ego Rewards. Test theirs out. So all three of those have got a really good value exchange. This was my value exchange in 1999. Obviously, we sent it out on a letter, but it was a physical card, the Depender card. We sold it for £10. We went out into the community and we got other businesses in the community to also offer discounts and promotions if they signed up to the Depender card. We had loads of window stickers made, we put those in the shop windows, and then people could turn up and show their Depender card, and they could get a discount from those brands as well. With my customers at the Deep End, I did it as a bit of a licensing thing because I was up against the working men's clubs, so I applied to the court to be able to offer a membership that was paid for, which is why it was £10, and I had a separate price list next to my regular price list, and if they showed their card between certain times, they could get a cheaper pint. But that was my value exchange way back when. The value exchange, if you deliver it really well, will mean that all of the data that flows into your brands goes through that same funnel. The customers are all engaged with in the same way. You're not having to focus time and energy on people that are downloading an app. You can just treat everybody in the same way. If you've got an app, the app just is part of the funnel. It's almost like an enhanced experience. The automations deliver the promise of the value exchange. You include in the value exchange things like competitions, so that the customer's always getting value from you and you're reactivating your database. You can also then focus on your revenue opportunities during those automations, things like private dining rooms, group bookings, and introduce things that drive the revenue for you. Maybe you've got a toggle store and you want to bring to the fore that you sell gift cards for any experience, and actually make sure that that's going out as an automated messaging as well. And what you'll do with a really good value exchange is you will drive frequency of visit. There's no two ways about it. So a really easy way to create, a really good relationships with your customers on an ongoing basis. So over the next year, the CRM becomes your guest data platform, and it's your single source of truth from all data sources, and the LLMs will read from it. Where are we at? So if there's any Airship or Toggle customers in the room, thank you, first of all. Where we're at is Ask Airship is now live. It's pretty smart. You can ask it anything about your data, and it will give you an answer. It's got a strategy agent built in there as well. I've written an agent, and the team have fed into it, and you can ask it to write strategies. There's a performance dashboard ready to go next week. We're doing user testing where you can create your own metrics and add them to your own dashboard. We've also created AI-driven segments, so you can create segments on the fly of any type of customer or sort of customer. What's coming next after that? So dynamic blocks of personalization, and then some stuff around actions and the front of house stuff, and so much more. After 25 years I've been doing this, too long. After 25 years, I can honestly say, hand on heart, this is the most exciting time for technology today. The speed of development with AI, and the invigoration that tech companies have got from the advent of AI is absolutely, it's absolutely nuts. And that's it, I think. There we go. Thank you very much for your time.